would be fun to talk about this in the light of a little story, a funny joke that I heard. So this guy is he's about middle age, and he's not terribly fulfilled at work. He's only moderately happy at home. It's been like this for some time. He's read a couple of books. He's watched a couple of podcasts. He's tried to maintain a good frame of mind, but he just feels like life isn't everything that it's supposed to be at this stage in his life, you know. And he's not a fortune teller kind of a guy, but he decides to go to a fortune teller to see if this person can help him understand what's happening and perhaps more importantly, give him some strategies and some hope, something to cope with this situation in his life. So he walks into the fortune teller's place of business, and it's all incense and candles, you know, and she's all beaded up. She looks just like a fortune teller. And she says, they do a few small greetings, and then she says, "May I have your palm?" And he holds out his palm like this, and the fortune teller grabs his palm with both hands, and she starts to look at the palm, and she turns it into the light so she can see it better. And they're talking and talking, and and she looks up at him, and she has a bit of concern on her face, her expression. And he says, "Well, what do you see?" And she says to him, "Well, sir, I have some news, and it may not be welcome news." And he says, "Well, what is it? What is it?" And she says, "Well, according to what I see in your palm, I see you as only marginally successful at work, and only moderately happy at home, for a good long time." And and uh, and then he says, "Well, how long?" He says, "What happens then?" And she says, "And then you will be used to it." And the lesson of the story, of course, is that if you fall into this abyss, you know, I've talked about this in different talks, keynotes, and also published about it, that when you enter this thing that we normally call, say, a routine, we think of routines as a good thing, and then you can go into this thing called a groove. Usually a groove has a positive connotation. But, you know, if you keep sinking a bit, you know, it goes from routine to groove to rut. And nobody thinks of a rut as a good thing, right? And I think what most people fear during this time is that we would come into a rut in terms of first impressions, or how we're developing relationships, how we're growing our clubs, and that sort of thing. And so that is the cautionary tale that you want to keep in mind, that you always have this opportunity to turn your groove into a rut. So let's not do that.